Pence also said that if he and Mr. Trump are elected, they will overturn Roe versus Wade. What else can we expect? With us now is political analyst Dino Scaros. Dino is the author of Grumpy Old Party, 20 Tips on How the Republicans Can Shed Their Anger, Reclaim Their Respectability, and Win Back the White House. What a great title. Always love that title of the book.
Thank you.
Dino, welcome to this early hour of the morning. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
There right now is one Supreme Court vacancy, of course, after the death of Antonin Scalia, and there could be a few more over the next 4 years. Do you think this is a major keystone of the Republican campaign?
Absolutely, Eric, and I think it should be because, as we all know, Supreme Court appointments are not just for a presidential term. They're really for generations, and I think this is a vital issue, and it's important even for Republicans who are thinking, I'm not really happy with Donald Trump, because it's not just about Donald Trump. It's about the future of the Supreme Court for decades to come.
Well, Hillary and the Democrats have been using the same argument, to fire up their base.
Well, that's absolutely true, and at least there is a clear choice for Americans, and on this issue at least, which is rare, at least on this issue there is no phoniness. It is a clear-cut choice as to the type of justices each candidate will appoint, and so the chips will fall where they may.
And you think this will resonate with, with both sides and in their bases?
It will to a certain extent. I don't think it is the top issue, but I think it is more of an advantage for Trump because you have Hillary as the establishment nominee, and you have Trump as the nominee of the people, and Trump is not a typical Republican, whereas Hillary is absolutely a typical Democrat. So I think it'll help Trump more insofar as there are some voters still uncertain about him. They can be certain about his Supreme Court nominees.
One part of the book, or the subtitle of the book, is How Republicans Can Shed Their Anger. What strikes me is that's one of the things that has been so successful for Donald Trump. It's his anger and channeling the anger of so many Americans who are dissatisfied with the economy, with the jobs, with radical Islamic terrorism and ISIS and the like. How has he been able to capitalize on that? And do you think that that will be something that he will be able to use against Mrs. Clinton, especially in the debates?
Well, that's an excellent question because there is anger that can be positively channeled. The type of anger that I talk about in the book is anger that is just really petty, and it's about nitpicking certain minor issues. But when it comes to big things, such as the fact that our borders are so porous, and I think that's really the big issue that people are really downplaying. The reason Trump was able to shake off 16 other Republican nominees, candidates so easily was because of immigration. He started talking about illegal entry and stay in the United States to a point that others were not, and that's what really resonated with people, along with the closely related issue of national security and law and order. So I think that type of anger, that type of righteous indignation will resonate with the voters and will serve to his advantage against Hillary.
Yeah, and finally, you raised a good point. I was there when he came down that escalator in Trump Tower that day. We had no idea what he was going to say. There was no advance text. Maybe he didn't know what he was going to say. He went right off onto that issue that, as you say, has really gained traction.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And the final point I want to make, Eric, is that for the first time in a very long time, the American people actually got to choose their nominee. It was the will of the people, not the party elites. And talk about a glass ceiling shattering. That is a glass ceiling shattering.
All right, Dino Scaros, thank you for joining us and being with us with your insight today, of course.